What's your sign? As soon as he buy that wine, I slide up from behind and ask you what your interests are, who you be with, things that make you smile, what numbers to dial. You gonna be here for a while? We can keep going. We can keep going. Come on now. Come
See,
on now.
we need to.
You put that BIG on. Come on now.
Next Man Up with Jake Lyman. Weekday mornings at 9. Your sports live here on 102.5 The Game.
Uncover the magic of the American West at Buffalo Bill Center, Cody, Wyoming's Smithsonian affiliate. A unique Yellowstone experience. 5 family-focused museums with authentic Western experiences, wildlife, and art. Ready for the adventure? Plan your trip now at centerofthewest.org.
Your sports live here. WBUZ HD3 Laverne. We are the Game Nashville Sports Network. ESPN 94.9. The Fan.
30 years of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee. It's the George Plaster Show, featuring Tennessee Sports Hall of Famers Kelly Holcomb and young gun Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome in on a beautiful Thursday in Nashville, Tennessee. Normally, I say from the Fordyce Center in Bellevue. That clearly is not the case today. We are at the beautiful Diggs, the rec room, as you can probably tell in the background. We're going to move quickly. Let's go to Murfreesboro and say hello to former NFL quarterback Kelly Holcomb. Kelly, say hello.
Hello.
Beautiful. Well done. And to Parker Kelly, who is in some sort of hostage situation.
Hello.
Parker, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We're good. Now let's get to the big man, Danny Evans, the man who knows everything when it comes to baseball, the man who knows everybody at the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown.
Yes, that's a good point, George. How was your trip?
You know, I haven't talked to you since then, have I?
No.
Shame on me. You know, I knew it would be cool. I mean, I don't think it takes, you know, a Phi Beta Kappa to say, okay, George is probably going to have a good time there. Yeah. But it was even better than I thought. And I'll admit that if I could go back a year from now, I'd jump at it.
Kelly, surprised?
Oh, absolutely not, man. I've been there. It's crazy that I've been there before George.
No, isn't that amazing? I think the setting, the history, George, I think being there in the summertime, you know, when there's a lot of tourism and there's a lot of people from all over the world, I think it just adds to the whole experience.
Here's what got me. Okay, and I didn't quite know this going in. So Cooperstown is small, population 1,850. There's a picture, and Parker, I don't know if you can pull it up, of the town square that I took, and I think I sent that to you at some point last week. Danny, when I first saw it, I was like, this is the Franklin, Tennessee town square 50 years ago when I went to BGA.
It's pretty special, George. And you know, what's really cool about it is it's relatively unchanged on the outside in the last 60, 70 years. I mean, it didn't come into fruition, I think, until 1934. But what you have is a celebration of history that is evolving on an annual basis. And under Josh Rawich's command, and now you know how special he is, the runway is going to be an amazing path because he just loves the game. He's in his mid-40s. This is an absolute great platform for him, and we as fans benefit.
So you'll like this. So they had this dinner on Thursday night. And Kelly, I was an invited guest. I know that shocks you.
It does
Um,
shock me. It's what I was
yes,
thinking in my head before you said it.
right. But so they had the dinner in the plaque room, and I tweeted out that I know I've made the big time. I'm having dinner in the plaque room, 2 feet from Kennesaw Mountain Landis.
Who didn't throw you out of the building?
No, he's thrown some people out, but he didn't throw me
And
out.
thrown them out permanently too.
He did. He said, "Don't come back. Get the hell out of here."
That's right.
And what was cool, and you may know the person because I get the feeling this is somebody they knew was going to do this. There was a gentleman who got up and had memorized Mighty Casey at bat.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And it was unbelievable. I was
Wow.
like,
What was
oh
this?
my
Was
God,
it a
I have
symposium,
died and gone
George?
to heaven.
Was it a symposium? Is that what it was?
Yeah, Mark McGee has spoken at that symposium. This was number 6 for him.
Okay.
And so when I found out he was thinking about driving it, I was like, good, I don't have to fly. Don't particularly like to fly. And, it's, you better know how to get there if you're going. It's not easy.
Oh, big time. But George, once you're there, you don't want to leave.
No. So I'm actually going to ask some baseball here in a minute, but did you see the singing of Country Roads after West Virginia's win?
I did. How special was that? And
Oh
how
my
special
God.
is the tournament right now? The tournament, it's funny, guys, we celebrate the great teams all year, right? In every sport. But then we really celebrate when there's upsets in the postseason. I mean, Thursday and Friday of NCAA madness, that first weekend, we want every upset, right? We get into the College World Series play. Oh my gosh, would they lose 7 top seeds? It was amazing. And while it's not good for the participants or their fans, for the sport itself, it's awesome when people like Troy and Cal Poly move forward. And I think it's great for the game to show the distribution of talent across North America is extraordinary. And I think it's going to benefit the game in the next few weeks. Guys, just know Omaha's a 2-hour drive for us. So we're going at some point. We just don't know when. And the fun part about it is when it's this type of environment, upset central, it's even more fun.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I'm assuming you've been to Omaha before.
Oh, I love Omaha.
Oh
It's
my God.
one of my favorite places to go. And I went to the old Rosenblatt and I've been to the new one many times. And Omaha itself is one of the best cities in the Midwest.
When I think about the great sports trips that because of what I do for a living, I've been allowed to be a part of.
Yes.
In the top 5 are both the week in Omaha, which was like Ferris Bueller's week off. And to be honest, this thing last week is right there with it.
Question.
There are people like, well, what about the Super Bowl? Because when the Titans got to the Super Bowl, we did the show in Indy. We did it in Amelia Island, a little ways from Jacksonville, and then Radio Row in Atlanta. But as I've told people, we had a bad ice storm in Atlanta that week, and you were stuck in the hotel. It wasn't any fun at all.
Yeah. Yeah, and George, I think that's where baseball and its induction ceremony in July really scores because it's just spectacular. It's so beautiful outside. You literally walk from the museum to the park that they have the festivities at, and you're around people who are just celebrating the game like you, and maybe 5 feet to your right is a former player who played with one of the inductees. It's really a special experience. And I also think that there isn't much else to do in Cooperstown except the Baseball Hall of Fame. The shops are great around Main Street and everything, but I think that adds to it, that you don't have people scattering from the hotel and going to do something, coming back at 9 o'clock. No, you're there and you're captive. And I think that just adds to the experience.
The Doubleday Cafe.
Oh my gosh.
Loved it. Went there
Did you go to
twice.
Danny's Diner or Danny's Deli? Did you go?
No.
You told him to, Danny. You told him to go.
George, I had you set up for a free meal. All you had to do is mention
my
my
God,
name.
I'm going back. Tell me when.
Kelly, he's there tomorrow, right?
Wow.
He's getting on a flight. He's going.
If he would have known it had been a free meal, he'd have been there because he's the
Oh,
biggest
my God.
moocher in town.
Free, it's for me, right? Hey, George, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are you excited about grabbing the Avalanche's GM as your guy with the Preds?
Yeah, I mean, and I said this on the air yesterday. I just met him briefly. Seems like a very nice human being. I think he's going to fit in well in the community. I didn't learn anything yesterday that tells me he'll either be a really good GM or he won't be. Only time will tell. But yeah, I'm kind of intrigued. It sounds a lot better than saying, well, San Jose Sharks.
Yeah, guys, I lived there for 15 years, and the Avalanche are so first class on and off the ice. They do everything really well for the community, and I have never heard a bad thing about Chris McFarland. So, I was candidly excited for you guys, and George, you especially, because I know how much you love the Preds, and this guy in that organization just do it right in Denver and in the Rockies. And I just thought, good for him. He's going to a great city. And I think, the title explains why he probably made.
I don't know if we just lost Danny or not.
I'm still here, George.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
good.
Yeah.
Danny is somebody who at certain times has allowed emotions to get in the way of broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
You were witness to one of those the day that Nick Hunter passed away.
No question.
I guess I really appreciated yesterday the fact that when, he had a book of notes, and when he got to Joe Sakic, he kind of lost it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I like people who give a damn.
Yeah, I love people that are transparent about their emotions. I think we as men sometimes try to portray ourselves as tougher because we don't show emotion. And I just think that's nonsense. I just think having a full range of emotion is an extraordinary thing as a human, to love, to cry, to be happy. I think it's perfectly okay. And it just displays you're in touch with yourself. And Sakic is beloved in Denver.
I know he is.
And you don't see that very much. And when you do, the guys, especially as you think. One of my best friends lived just right near him in Denver, and he loved him. He was his neighbor, and that's who he was first, a neighbor. And, listen, guys, when you're up there on a pedestal and you're a dude, it's even better when you're a good person off the runway and off the lights. And when a guy like McFarland learned from somebody like that, that tells me you guys in Nashville have a chance to have a really good person who's grounded. And George, like you, I saw the emotion and I thought, good for you.
Yeah. I know that we're going to have Governor Haslam on the show here sometime soon, and I'm looking forward to that because I want to hear what his process was. I mean, it's not very often that a governor of a state becomes the owner of a professional sports team.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, would have Nick Saban to, bounce things off of. I want to know what that's like. And I can't wait for the day. As soon as I know when we're going to do it, I'll let people know it. I got to ask you one baseball question.
Yeah.
Then we'll go to the break and we'll let Joe Montana over there ask you whatever.
Joe Montana.
You like that?
I watched him yesterday, man. Come on now. I love me some Joe Montana, dude.
So I'm watching the Cubs last night. Okay. I believe, unless you tell me otherwise, that Craig Counsell is a heck of a manager.
Yes.
I'm looking at them right now, and I see a dead team. What's going on there?
You know, it's a great question. And guys, I know you guys know the game. The problem is we're quick to blame the coach. And sometimes it's not the coach, it's the core players that just aren't getting it done. And everybody's got to take ownership when you're not playing well. But that's really hard to do on June 4th. You know, you got a whole lot of runway left in this season. But here's the problem. They had 2 incredible 10-game winning streaks. And then they have, an 11-game losing streak. And when you go through those mountains and valleys, the range of emotion is so huge that your game gets away from you a little bit because you're trying to get back to where you were. And honestly, for everybody listening, neither one of those was the Cubs' reality. It was bottoming out and it was topping out. But what I see, George, it's funny. A friend of mine in the game said to me today, you know, they don't look any different than when David Ross was leading them. And I love David Ross. But a manager, a coach, is only as good as the players who play for him. And right now, the Cubs are just in need of somebody to just take the reins and lead them. But I don't know that they have that demonstrative player that they've had in the past. I mean, George, you love the game. You know, that was Rizzo years ago. That was Schwarber. You've got to have an emotional dude. I mean, you look at Atlanta, and there's no question it's Acuna. But it's also Olsen very quietly. Some teams lack that emotional spigot. And when you don't have it, it's all about winning and losing. And that's a tough way for us to judge somebody in the dugout. You know, Counsell's a good guy. I love him. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think Craig Counsell is the reason they're not throwing W's out there.
I don't either. Can I ask you one other thing that's going to be a very quick answer?
Yeah, as long as I'm here, what the heck, right?
Capital of the state of Kentucky.
Oh, here we go, dude.
I believe it's Lexington, or is it Frankfurt?
There you go.
There we go. There we go.
You're right.
Yeah. You know
I messed up yesterday, Danny. I messed up yesterday, you know, and I was really thinking I messed up really big. And now I'm going to hear it for the rest of my life, you know, but it's okay. I'm good with it.
Kelly, got to tell you, my youngest one had a tough time with the Capitals. So we memorized them, and it was just hysterical. And I look back at that, and that was so beneficial to me, too, because suddenly I'm like, yeah, that's right. That is the Capital.
If anybody asks you, Richmond, Kentucky is not. We had so much fun with that yesterday. But it's like I said,
this just
get in the way of a good story.
Whatever, George. Move on. Turn the page.
Oh, lighten up there, Joe Montana. Go say hello to Jerry Rice. After the break, Kelly Holcomb and Parker Kelly will take over. We'll open up the phone lines around 3:35, 3:40. We're going to have fun. This guy can talk baseball better than any human being going. Danny Evans is on the George Plaster Show.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
It's easy to say good things about the folks at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers. Number one, I trust them with something that's near and dear to me, the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. But more importantly, I see the fun people have. They enjoy the bowling, they enjoy the camaraderie, and you will too. Come by any of their locations and get ready to have some fun.
At Wilson Bank and Trust, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between personal service and digital solutions. As your local independent bank, we're proud to offer the relationships and trusted service you expect, along with the tools and technology that keep you moving forward. So whether you're growing a business, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Because this isn't just where we work, it's where we live too. Wilson Bank and Trust, here to get you there. Member FDIC.
Are you looking for expert medical care in Nashville without leaving your home? Medical House Calls brings concierge-level health care directly to your door. Whether you need urgent attention, ongoing primary care, revitalizing IV therapy, or medically guided weight loss, our experienced providers are just a phone call away at 615-838-2375 or go online, medicalhousecalls.com.
Are you tired of living with back pain? What would you do if the pain was gone?
At the Dr. Gill Center, we've helped thousands of people over the last 30 years break free from pain and get back to living life. We're committed to your outcomes, and our caring team listens, understands, and offers real solutions to neuropathy, back pain, and joint pain without unnecessary surgery or medication. Choose the clinic that listens. Choose the clinic that cares. Call the Dr. Gill Center today at 615-882-4838.
Let's make your pain-free life a reality. Free life, a reality.
ESPN Radio lives here. Your sports live here on ESPN 94.9 The Fan.
Where it began, I can't begin to know.
But then I know it's growing strong.
Fenway
Love
Park.
that song.
Iowa State University.
Boston Red Sox.
You betcha.
When 35,000 sing that, you know, Kelly, it is pretty cool what sports and song mixed together can do. Pretty cool.
It truly is. It truly is. George has been on country roads for 2 weeks now. I know the game's been played, but like it's just, he just won't let it go.
We played it on the show at least 5.
4.
George, you know, let's talk about that for a moment, if you don't mind.
Okay.
One of the coolest things about that is a lot of people who don't give a damn about college baseball saw how much people gave a damn about it.
Yes.
And friends of mine who really don't give a squat about the college game sent me messages going, this is pretty cool. Is this what it's like? And I said, dude, you have no idea what college baseball is like. It is unbelievably fun. And I just think, you know, with social media today, we were all able to experience that, but we also saw it live on TV. And it was just cool. I just want to say one thing. Sweet Caroline. So we first moved here to Iowa for the Field of Dreams. I go to a football game. Kelly, they're playing Iowa. Amazing game. Okay, so super cool. 80,000 people. What do they break out in the third quarter? Sweet Caroline. And
the
then
whole stadium
went nuts. And then after the game, I go on Main Street. Main Street Ames, gorgeous. Sure enough, restaurant, Sweet Caroline's. So, you know, that song has a lot of legs.
Yeah.
So Danny, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but you know, you're seeing all these. Let's just stay with the College World Series stuff right now. You know, I asked a guy the other day. You know, you see some of these big schools, and you got St. John's who goes into the Florida State Regional and beats Florida State, and then Little Rock's at Troy. I mean, Troy's got a beautiful facility. My son was there. But are we going to start seeing this more? Because we saw a little bit of it last year, but some of these schools that can't compete, like, you know, basketball and football, you know, but some of these schools say, hey, we're going to start putting our resources in baseball because we can compete. We got 35 scholarships. We can compete in the game of baseball. And is that why we're seeing all these upsets, or is it just, you know, I don't know. Is this going to be a new normal? Because baseball is one of those deals where, any game you can, you got great pitching, you got great fielding, you can stay in a game and you could create a huge upset. Are we going to start seeing more of this?
Well, Kelly, first of all, great point about the scholarships. Bumping it this year from 11.7 to a full roster is an unbelievable change in the game. And it is changing recruiting all over North America. Now kids who had to think about playing hockey or hoops because they wanted the full ride and they couldn't afford a 4-year, now suddenly they can land a 4-year anywhere in the country. But there's another step to it, Kel. And that is that the big leagues are suddenly drafting more and more college players and signing them in their 20 rounds. And it's really a microwavable game now. We only have 4 minor league full season affiliates. So as a result, it's kind of microwave time. You got to move people through the big leagues. So the problem then, Kelly, is a lot of the high school kids don't have the traction to really play well. Imagine yourself coming out of high school and playing for the Falcons. I mean, no, you're not ready for it maturity-wise, but you're also not ready for it physically. Well, in the college game now, because we're about 80-20, 75-25, whereas it used to be about 55-45 high school, now it's 80-20 college. So as a result, more kids don't sign. The ones that do are elite. They get the college scholarship plan. They go play and they're in the big leagues at 22, 23. But the bulk of the better players go there. And there's one step more, Kelly. For some reason, and I don't know what it is, the coaching, the instruction at the collegiate level has spiked upwards exponentially over the last 15, 20 years. They have become even better teachers than ever before, and they're using analytics to their advantage to try to help kids play. So what we have now is a far more refined player than played 20 years ago. And I think you are right. I think this is the new norm. And I think it's not only great for the game, but it's phenomenal for college baseball.
Here's another thing that I've been hearing a lot of. Everybody keeps talking about pitch and depth. Depth. I've heard that, and I've never really heard that with the College World Series, but things have changed and it's creeped into baseball, and they've talked about, pitching depth. Well, is that because, maybe you're the 4th or 5th best pitcher and maybe you can transfer somewhere else and be maybe the 1st or 2nd guy? Is that what's happening?
Kelly, there's never been a head coach or a pitching coach with any team at any level who said, hey, Kelly, you know what? We're good. We got enough pitching. It's totally good. There's a saying in the game, you're only as good as your next game when it comes to depth. But I think what we see in the College World Series, especially this weekend in the Super Regionals, every out is like a playoff out because it's their playoffs. So as a result, you minimize innings and you're going more to your pen earlier than ever before. Kelly, nobody has enough pitching. So what we have, though, is we don't have games Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday night. So they come in rested on Friday and they empty the pantry trying to win that first game because that first game is immense in the college game. Well, here's the problem, Kel. That Sunday and Monday starter, those guys aren't the same caliber, and many of them are a bit transient. They had a chance to maybe play at one school. That opportunity didn't surface, can be for a variety of reasons. They go to another school, and now suddenly they get the Friday night or the Saturday nod. And I think that's great for the game.
So y'all brought up, and you and George were talking about the Predators and the new hire with the Chris McFarland guy who seems like we don't know. Time will tell. So that got me to thinking this morning because I knew you were coming on. And this is one of my general manager questions because you've done this before. Mm-hmm. But as a general manager, you're Chris McFarland, you're coming in the Predators, or you're Danny Evans going to wherever you're going. You go in to be the general.
Good. Come on, Kelly. Send me something good.
But what do you have to do as a general manager? Because everybody in the organization right now is kind of on eggshells because they don't know what's going to happen. You're going to have to meet with all these different departments and compartmentalize everything. What is your first order of business? Because everybody just sees what you do on the ice or on the diamond, but what do you have to do in the organization as well as a general manager?
Kelly, that is one of the best questions that's ever been asked of me. And I will be honest with you, it was my biggest challenge twice. Because what you need to do is you need to establish a personal relationship with people who are on edge, just like you said. I mean, look when you had offensive coordinators leave the building. I mean, everybody is back to zero again. And there's a reason why they hire you. You're probably different than your predecessor, probably have a different process, a different personality. I mean, Kelly, I replaced a guy who was in his mid 60s and I was 41 years old. And all of a sudden I brought in, a completely different wardrobe. I'm hopping and bopping to music in the stands. Nobody really knows what to think. But the big challenge is this. They have to learn to trust you. And this is who I am. And I'm not going to go renegade on you. This is who I am. And Kelly, the first thing I did is I brought my entire baseball staff together in a conference room. And I just said very candidly, Kel, I said, hey, I've been in your shoes. I've been there. I know exactly how you feel right now. I'm not going to come in here and have massive change, but there will be change in our process because that process wasn't working. So what I need from everybody is to help me, and I'm going to help you because I want us to get better just like you do. And Kelly, there's a magic word. You have to use the word we as soon as possible because what you don't want to do is pick on the past because there's a reason you're there. And they don't want to hear you talking about your predecessor. So Parker, here I am sitting up on the podium and I'm inheriting some bad stuff. And I said at one moment, I said, well, that's our bad stuff. That's my bad stuff now. And I'm not going to sit here and whine about it because I knew that coming in. But Kelly, the other thing is you also have a media group that doesn't know you all that well. And they want to learn you too. So for me, I bopped around all the channels. I went to all the radio stations, all the live stuff. I did a lot of speaking engagements my first month because fans need to know that you give a damn about them. So, one of my kids said, Dad, my God, we never eat at home anymore. And I said, well, we will someday when we end our world tour. But Kelly, it's a fabulous question. And I think the best part of it is you do get to reset the shot clock a little bit, but you better do it with legitimacy. And they weigh every word you say from a staff member to a fan to a media person. And you just have to be really careful that you don't have like throwaway comments because when you say stuff like that, and I'll give you guys an example. My predecessor used to call himself the sheriff. And one of the radio guys said, so there's a new sheriff in town, huh? And I said, oh, heck no. You don't want me protecting your home. I'm 5'9", 180. That ain't going to work. I said, but there's definitely a new baseball guy in town. And I think, Kelly, the other thing is people from larger media markets tend to have an easier time of it because they're not overwhelmed by the media early on.
People don't truly understand that, though, Danny. They just see what happens on TV, but they don't know the behind the scenes, that's why I asked that question, because we got this new GM in town, and there's so much to be like. People are on eggshells in the front office, man. They are. They're worried about their jobs. They're worried about their livelihood. Things are not going right, and I don't think anybody ever thinks about that other than what they see on TV.
Yeah, and Kelly, I'm glad you said that because I think people are a little numb. They think they're almost cartoon characters or TV people where you just change costumes and somebody else is there. These people moved their families. These people left organizations to come work with that team Now they're suddenly working in Nashville. They love the town. They have friends. They establish a church, a school. And now suddenly, what does everybody say? And they said it to you. They say, hey, you okay with all these changes? What's going to happen? And the problem is, your kids get the same questions. They're like, hey, is your dad going to be okay? And it's humbling, but it's something you have to desensitize a little bit, because for many fans, they don't think about the people behind the scenes. I had one woman who was pregnant with twins. She was 7 months pregnant. And she came to me and she said, I just have to be honest with you. I'm expecting in 2 months and I have twins and I'm concerned. And I said, you're totally good. Don't worry about it. I said, let's just get better. And I said, my first question to her was, what's our company policy about maternity leave? And I just want to make sure you and I are on the same page so you don't have any concerns whatsoever. And actually, Kelly, I changed the maternity leave and the paternity leave rules just because I wanted to show them, hey, I'm a young dad. And, I'm going to be leaving to go to things for the kids. I don't want you to think that I'm not that same guy. I am that person.
Danny, I want to go real quick to the college game, and I promise I'll tie it back into the MLB stuff. But obviously, with this new era of NIL and transfer portal, a lot of the new revenue has been funneled towards college football. So the gap between what we refer to as the Power Four and the Group of Six has never been wider. College basketball, it's been a smaller sample size, but the NCAA tournament, we haven't had as many Cinderellas the last couple of years.
Okay.
But you look over in college baseball, and I can get the super regional schedule pulled up. I mean, like Kelly pointed out, Little Rock at Troy. Troy is hosting a super regional. Cal Poly's in this thing, and they have a good shot at West Virginia. And you have St. John's in there. So we're seeing more Cinderellas. So my question to you is, what is the difference, and where is the gap, if any, between the powers in college baseball versus the mid-majors?
Think about the Dodgers, the most elite organization in baseball, and they lose 60 games every year. So if the best team in baseball loses 60 times a year, then UCLA can go number one all season and get eliminated in their own regional. You're only as good as the starter that night. And that's the weirdest thing about baseball, especially games like the World Baseball Classic, things like the College World Series. It is really hard to judge on a 3-game series. I know how much you love the game. Just think about all those 3-day, series on weekends throughout the Vandy season and how there were surprises, positive and negative. And as a head coach, as a director of baseball operations, you never really know. But here's what you do know. That other team's coming ready to play the first game. Now, I am a big fan of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, California. So I am hoping and praying that Cal Poly gets in. But I think, Parker, the big question you're asking is, why are some of these teams in our final 16? Well, it's because they're peaking at the right time. St. John's was a great program 40 years ago. They really haven't been, but now they are. Cal Poly, an elite baseball program. Little Rock, Troy, on the way up. Auburn's back. I think what we have now is a really cool time in college baseball where, as Kelly said, the norm is a little uncomfortable, Parker, because some of the teams we're used to seeing, they ain't playing this weekend. But I actually think the fun part is it gives more credence to the variety of talent that's scattered across North America. And baseball's a great sport for those 3-game series.
You look at that pot of teams at the bottom with Little Rock, Troy, Cal Poly, West Virginia. 2 of those teams are going to Omaha for the first time.
That's
and they'll
exactly
play
right.
each other, and one of them will get their first win in Omaha in school history. I think it's been a phenomenal product. How I'm tying it into MLB You mentioned how it's great for college baseball because players are moving faster up into Major League Baseball. What is the impact of that for Major League Baseball? Because for me, admittedly, I'm newer to MLB, but I'm fascinated by it. But me being a Tennessee fan, I'm curious to know how Tony Vitello is doing. So I'm watching the Giants a lot more. I want to know how Drew Gilbert's doing. I want to know how Christian Moore's doing with the Angels. What's the impact at the MLB level?
Scouts don't miss players. They do a fabulous job finding players. Parker, a lot of really good kids play in the Northwoods League, which is a summer woodbat collegiate league. They play on the Cape. They play in the Alaskan League. They play in the California Collegiate League. Scouts see them, and they get seen a lot. So when these kids are players, scouts don't care where they're from. They just care selfishly, can you help us? Now, by the time you get to College World Series, most of the scouting's been done because teams are already in their meetings. They're starting to look at the draft. But what we have right now, Parker, and it's a super question, is we have a scattering of talent that we're not really used to as a college game. The college game is loaded with players. And there's also a lot of great coaches that bring players with them. I mean, when coaches leave and they go to another program, many times they'll bring a guy with them. Look at what McCollum did when he went to Iowa this year. I think what we have right now is it's like a bunch of aircraft carriers. And these really talented players are taking off at one aircraft carrier, and they're going, that's not as good a fit as I thought it was going to be. I'm going to go here. And baseball gives them that platform. It's never going to be as transient, Parker, as it is in football and basketball, because just baseball doesn't have that kind of athlete. Players like to be around a certain kind of work. And you'll see as a result, it's a challenge for guys to transfer because there's only one guy at every spot. So you got to know you're going to the right place. Whereas in the other sports, there's multiple opportunities to play.
So I saw from ESPN that Rob Manfred is concerned about a long lockout after this season. How much concern, if any, does that give you?
Everybody's posturing right now. There's the Grim Reaper is in the corner, it seems like, of any interview. And you get this, they get the Grim Reaper stuff. And Parker, it's real. It could happen. But I think more than anything, we'll learn from what happened 30 years ago. And 30 years ago, the game took a big setback. And I think everybody's posturing, they're digging in. They've got their stick in the mountain right now. Well, all that's going to change. And Parker, it's collectively bargained. It's not like somebody comes in and says, this is what we're going to do. That is not how it happens in baseball. They've got easily the most powerful union of all the sports. So subsequently, the two sides are going to talk it out. I like that Rob's not afraid to talk about it, but I also know that it's not in the best interest of the game for it to happen. So I think by confronting it, it puts that bison in the middle of the highway where you say, hey, we've got to figure this out.
Okay, let's get the phone calls and the text questions for Danny quick. 615-759-9949. One more time, 615-759-9949. We'll take your phone calls for Danny next. Mike Organ at the top of the hour with a bunch of stuff to talk about. Stick around on the George Plaster Show.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
Baseball is just like music. You don't believe me? Let me show you. It's jazz, improvised and unpredictable. It's rock, The crowd explodes like a guitar through a wall of amps. It's rap, fast, sharp, all rhythm and timing. It's country, nothing but 3 outs and the truth. Do you believe me now? Look, no matter what music you're into, the hardest track in town, Nashville Sounds Baseball. Welcome to Hit City.
Sports and Social at Green Hills Mall is the new home for our Football Night in Nashville promotion. Their food is terrific. Their TV setup looks like a racing sports book in Vegas. And if you're a sports fan, you can't beat it. Starting September the 4th, we'll broadcast from Sports and Social every Thursday night. There's Pop-A-Shot, great football, and the chance to win a beautiful Mikey's Motors golf cart. See you at Sports and Social in Green Hills Mall.
Clarksville.
Doesn't feel.
Because when the doors open at F&M Bank Arena, the noise rises.
And the Nashville Cats.
The walls shake. And the Cats take control. Fast plays. Big hits. Non-stop arena football.
For the touchdown.
Get in the den. Get your season tickets now.
You've heard me talk about the putting zone. Well, guess what? It's now open, and it offers a revolutionary indoor golf experience featuring state-of-the-art putting surfaces designed to replicate real-world course conditions. It allows players of all skill levels to practice, compete in tournaments, and connect year-round. Go by and see them at 3040 Sidco Drive and tell them Plaz sent you.
It's the George Plaster Show. Your sports live here on 94.9 The Fan.
Really good text question that I'm going to get to at the end. If you want to get in with Danny, you got a question, do it quick. 615-759-9949. Tony in Nolensville, you are the leadoff hitter.
And I'm going to be quick for you, George.
Thank you.
First of all, Danny, I've got to take a little issue with you when you're talking about some leaders on the Cubs team. I think George was right. Right now, the Cubs look like they are at times dead. I think they've got leadership in HAP. I think they've got it in PCA. I think they've got it in Dansby Swanson, not by his numbers, obviously, but I think Dansby's play on the field. I think Dansby in the locker room and always at the top step at the dugout, I think is a leader. But it's just the players are just not coming together at the crucial times they need to. And you alluded to it earlier. Players make coaches. Coaches don't make players. But right now, this team looks like everybody's looking for each other to step up and do something at the crucial time, but no one is being taken that leadership role to do that. And that's what I've watched them each night, and they're just not taking that leadership role. The one question I do have for you, y'all talked about the bullpen and the pitching on the collegiate level. I do see a drop-off. We talked about this earlier this week. George and I did. There seems to be a drop-off when it goes to the bullpen, even though these guys are rested. I just think with the 34 scholarship team that they're going to have starting in this year, full scholarships, do you see more teams going and seeing what O'Shea Ohtani does? Do you see a lot of college teams start looking for players that are dual players? So I'm going to just ask you that. And, guys, I hope the weather stays good for the regional. It looks like it's going to hit by 5 regions, super regionals this weekend. Pretty tough. Thank you, Danny. George,
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
George, I know you watched Ohtani last night. That was unbelievable. That was just absolutely unbelievable. We never should take that for granted. It's extraordinary. Tony, you talked about Hap, Swanson, PCA. Let's think about it. PCA is a young kid. It's really hard for him to have the clubhouse pulse, to be a leader. He's too young. He doesn't really have a lot of rings around his tree. Swanson's struggling, and I love Dansby Swanson. I've always loved him, but he's struggling. And when you're struggling, it's really hard to lead. Kelly can tell you, it's when the best players are struggling, they're suddenly not the most outspoken. And Ian Happ is not the most demonstrative guy. So it's hard. When it comes to the NCAA, just remember, and George, give you a little insight here. The reason Pens in the big leagues have great arms is many of them are failed starters who didn't have a repertoire that could do a second or third pitch. Well, in college, those guys start. In the minor leagues, you start to realize they're a fourth, fifth starter. And in the big leagues, you move them into the bullpen. So you will never see as much velocity at the end of the game in the college game as you do in the big leagues.
Eric on line 2. Give me a couple of minutes with Danny Evans. We have crickets. Eric, are you there? Crickets. Frank in Smyrna, welcome.
Hi, Danny. Hello, Kelly and George and Parker. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Good, man.
Fantastic.
I'll give you 3 guesses where I really am, but the first 2 don't count.
Boise, Idaho.
Good guess, Danny. But no, it's not Sarasota, Florida either. Let's just say I really am Smyrna, but that would be Smyrna, Georgia, overlooking this baseball park known as Truist Park. So
send us a picture.
And of course, send you a picture.
Send us a picture. I'll put it out there.
Okay, I could do that. I could go out here on the balcony and take a picture of the Braves taking bat practice.
George is so proud of his unit right now. He loves putting it out there.
Sure do.
What I wanted to talk about, Danny, I'm hearing the Tarrant Skubal rumors are heating up and that he's going to be on the move. And it seems like it would be the logical thing to do for the Tigers to just go ahead and trade him and get something for him once he's healthy. One of the places I'm hearing is Atlanta. Ultimately, do you think the Tigers trade Skubal, and where do you think he ends up? Because there's no secret. I'd love to see him in a Braves uniform. Because right now, as good as the Braves start pitching has been this year, do I really think we have enough to win the World Series in October? I don't. And,
I got to run on that.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Send me the picture.
Guys, I'm going to see Skubal's rehab start on Saturday night here in Iowa. He's pitching in Iowa. So I'm looking forward to it. Verlander pitched 2 nights ago. It's pretty cool here. Yes, they should trade him, and yes, they probably will. I think I wrote down 7 different teams yesterday, and I think if I were the Tigers, I would absolutely do it. I would pay as much of the salary as I could to get as many good players as I could. And, George, one of the cool things that I will experience Saturday is I will know exactly who's interested in them when I go to the game Saturday night.
Yeah.
Because the scouts that are there Saturday night are not going to be Kelly, what they do is you send your best guys out for stuff like this. And you're as much spying on the other guys as you are. And I said this morning to Kath, I said, we're going to go and we're going to sit right behind them. And we're going to see who's there. And then I'm going to know how good Skubal's going.
I love it. Eric is now with us. Eric, I got a minute and a half. Do your best.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gobblers on my phone or whatever, guys, but I can do that, guys. And this is concerning my Reds again. And I was telling George, congratulations. This Braves took 2 out of 3 for me. And Sunday was nervous because they had the time runs on, but luckily we pulled out and won. But the thing that's so frustrating to me is, guys, we play a team in Kansas City that lost 6 straight games, and we lose 2 out of 3. And the one game we did win, it took us extra innings after we traded them by 7 runs. I know this team, I believe I've heard they've got a lot of injuries. The pitching, the middle and bullpen has kind of been struggling. And I know Elliot De La Cruz, I didn't see him in the game since he's back in the lineup. I know he had hurt his hamstring. What have you heard about him? Or is it they put him on the IL or DL? Danny, it's always good to talk to you. Good to talk to you, George. Y'all guys take care, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Eric. I'm glad we got you in.
Yeah, I'm glad you called back, Eric. I know you dropped. De La Cruz is on the IL. He'll be back quickly. If they can survive this period without him, the Reds are going to be a real team this year. And I think sometimes you go through adversity this time of the year, and it brings the rest of your subordinate players together a little bit more. De La Cruz played every single game in 2025. And I think what you'll see is a player who's hungry and a player who's at the top of his game. So don't give up on your Reds. They're going to be just fine.
Danny, in 30 seconds, somebody asked about the extra base at first base on the college level. Will that ever happen in Major League Baseball?
George, that started in Little League, moved on to softball. And what it is for the fans is it's an extension in foul territory of the bag. Just for everybody, you're supposed to stay in that running lane in the final 45 feet. Well, you can't do it and touch the bag. It's just physically, anatomically impossible. So I love it. And I love it. I just saw it 2 nights ago at a really good high school game. Had there been no base, there would have been a terrible collision at first base. The kid just ran through the bag. I love the rule. I think it could happen someday in the big league level because there's one of the little nuances of the game is that running lane, and it would alleviate everything.
Got to run. You're the best.
Have fun, guys. Have a good weekend.
See you, brother.
Thanks, Danny.
Danny Evans is the best. Stat of the day, and then Mike Organ from the Tennessean with a story you need to hear on the George Plaster Show.
The Predators have their new GM. Chris McFarland, former GM of the Colorado Avalanche, has been hired as president of hockey operations and general manager. What are the next steps for Smashville's team?
Do you feel like the veterans on this roster can help you build for the future and win and stay competitive now?
Who stays? Who goes?
And I think it would be a smart move based on, I think Andrew Burnett did a really good job with his coaching staff last year to start the season with them. I'm not saying they have to extend Andrew Burnett.
Smashville lives here on 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville Sports Network.
It's Family Leisure's Ultimate Pool Party Sale.
That's right. Join the Ultimate Pool Party.
Huge savings on above-ground pools. 24-foot pools start at $29.99. That's with free installation.
Now we can have the pool party for the family. Of course, now is the time for some new patio furniture, 30 to 70% off. Hundreds of sets on display and on sale.
Let's not forget, Family Leisure spas are on sale for our own little Ultimate Pool Party. Right now, spas start at only $29.99.
And when the party moves indoors, Family Leisure has sale prices on pool tables and shuffleboards starting at just $19.99.
Family Leisure has the largest selection of indoor and outdoor saunas on sale starting at only $19.99.
Massage chairs and theater seating are on sale as well.
That's Family Leisure's Ultimate Pool Party Sale.
That's Family Leisure, 2 huge locations, Antioch and Franklin.
Well, family and fun come together. Now, here's your latest Fox 17 Code Red weather report.
I'm Fox 17 meteorologist Brett Luna. This beautiful weather is going to be sticking around with us for the next few days. We'll get plenty of sunshine today with high temperatures in the mid-80s. Humidity is not going to be too bad either. Friday and Saturday, we'll stay dry with highs in the mid to upper 80s.
Your sports live here on the Game Nashville Sports Network.
Boxing fans, the Nashville Smash Team Boxing League's action is professional boxing in Nashville like never before. 16 skilled professional fighters, team versus team action. Each fighter goes 1 round, so it's toe-to-toe action from the opening bell. Check out the videos on Team Boxing League's social media accounts or teamboxingleague.com. Don't miss the next Nashville Smash home fights Friday, June 12th against the Atlanta Attack. Right now, there are tickets available at teamboxingleague.com. That's the Nashville Smash, June 12th at Municipal Auditorium. Go to teamboxingleague.com.
You enjoy the thrill of gambling, but what happens when it becomes a problem? Whether you want to cut back or quit gambling altogether, the Gambling Clinic has been helping people change their gambling for over 2 decades. We're here to help, not to judge. The Gambling Clinic is a Tennessee-based clinic offering in-person and telehealth support to help people win back their life. Visit us at thegamblingclinic.com. This project is funded by the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. Brought to you by the Gambling Clinic, the Tennessee Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
I'm Emmitt Smith. Pro football and fatherhood have taught me you need the right equipment for what life throws your way, including an opioid emergency. I've lost teammates and loved ones to opioid poisoning. It's the leading cause of accidental death in the U.S. But now I have the power to save a life, and so do you. Lay, spray, stay. 3 words to help save someone in need. Lay the person on their back. Use Narcan nasal spray as directed to reverse the effects of an opioid emergency. Dial 911 and stay with them until emergency help arrives. Continue to administer additional doses as needed. An opioid poisoning can happen to anyone, anywhere, anytime. So learn the signs and symptoms of an opioid emergency and always be ready to rescue. Learn more at readytorescue.com.
This message brought to you by The Game Nashville and Cromwell Media.
Your sports live here. WBUZ HD3 Laverne. All around the world on the Game Nashville app. We are the Game Nashville Sports Network. ESPN 94.9. The Fan. A Cromwell media station.
It's the George Plaster Show. Your sports live here on 94.9 The Fan.
Time for our stat of the day, brought to you by Apple Collision Centers. Which NBA team holds the record for the longest winning streak in a single playoff season?
Kelly, I think it's Moses Malone's Fo.
I think they had this stat on the TV last night, and I cannot remember who it is, George. I don't know if that's it. What did you, who? The Sixers, are you saying?
Yeah, this would have been like 82 or 83, and Moses was not exactly, sports talk show host material, and apparently he called it Fo.
I saw this, man. I cannot remember it though. I cannot remember who it is, so I guess we're going to have to go with the Sixers because I know the Spurs are in there, and now the Knicks have gotten 12 in a row. So, golly, this is making me mad.
Put it up there.
The Golden State Warriors.
That's it. Gosh.
They swept through the first 3 rounds, went 12-0, won the first 3 games of the NBA Finals before dropping Game 4 to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
This was on last night. I saw it. Golly, I just forgot it. I could not remember.
So much for Fo.
Fo. No more.
It's incredible what the Knicks are doing right now. Seriously.
Okay.
We didn't get to talk about that either, man.
By the way, we'll get into that in a few minutes. Impressive. This team is going to be your world champion. Better get ready for it. Madison Square Garden will be hopping Monday night. That's a place I'd like to be Monday night.
Man.
However, I'm just here in my little rec room talking sports. And we say hello. Today, we're all at our little homesteads. And Mike Organ from the Tennessean, not available yesterday. He's involved in the schoolboys golf tournament. And some of you who are new to listening to the show or new to the area may have no idea what I'm talking about. So, Mike, good to have you on. Kind of clue people in on what that's all about.
Well, George, it's the golf tournament that it's called the School Days now. It used to be the School Boys because it was only boys, and in '85 we added girls. So the first year that we added girls, we had to change the name to School Days. The problem is it is a qualifying round to go into match play, for which you need 4 players. So to have at least a semifinal and a final. Well, we only had 3 girls sign up our first year. So the top girl, the low qualifier, or not one of the top girls that we going in, we told her, said, sorry, we can't play. We didn't have 4 sign up. She said, hold on. So she went and made a phone call, and she invited Stephanie. I wish I could remember Stephanie's last name at the time. Now it is Stephanie Wyatt. She is the wife of Jim Wyatt, who is the Titan senior beat writer and used to work at Tennessean.
Oh, wow.
She was a teammate at Father Ryan with this girl, and she said, get down here. We need you in this tournament at McCabe. So Stephanie jumped in her car and drove down and played in the first school days tournament that allowed girls, and that was 85. So that's a nice little story, but it's the 102nd annual this year. It is the longest running golf tournament in the state, not youth, but all tournaments, because all the other tournaments had to stop for like the world wars and different things. But we've been playing continuously for 102 years, and it is a long tradition, obviously. And we play out at McCabe now. It's also been played at Shelby. It's been played at Two Rivers and at Belmead. And it's co-sponsored by the Tennessean and Metro Parks. They give us the course, and we pay for the sponsorship. And about 3 years ago, we'd gotten low on numbers because everybody plays in Brant Snedeker's Sned Tour. So I talked to Brant, and I said, how about putting us on your tour? Well, Brant had played in this tournament 5 times as a young player, and he said, absolutely. He said, we need a match play tournament. So we merged with Brant 3 years ago and got our numbers back, and things are as good now with the school days as they've ever been. And the school days has had some great winners. Lou Graham, who died last month, won it 3 years in a row. Brant played in it 5 times. Richard Eller won it 4 times in a row. His brother, Mike Eller, is the owner of Hermitage Golf Course. Mike played in it and won it once. So it's just a long-standing golf tradition. I'm talking too much about it.
No, that's great history. And Mike, that's one of the reasons I love having you on. You grew up here. You appreciate the traditions of this city, and so do I. So thank you for that. Now let's get to the Tennessee State story that maybe has kind of slipped through for some people. I don't know that I've ever really heard this before, but the story is that 6 or 7 coaches on Tennessee State's various athletic teams, including the football coach and the basketball coach, have signed a letter to the president of the school essentially saying no confidence in athletic director Mickey Allen. Mike, where's this coming from?
Yeah, George, that's what it was. It was a vote of no confidence letter, and it spelled out the specific complaints for why this group of 6 coaches, head coaches, have lost confidence in Mickey Allen, the athletics director who played football at Tennessee, was on the national championship team, played with Peyton the year before, and is from Murfreesboro. And they just spell out that they've lost confidence in Mickey's leadership. And the really odd thing is, and I spelled it out in my story, and we don't have time to go into every complaint because there were about 8 bullet complaints. And if you go back and look at them on Tennessean.com, you can see what they are specifically. And basically, the last paragraph was an encouragement of the school's president, Dwayne Tucker, to fire Mickey Allen. And George, that's not how things are done. I don't know what the coaches. It's just coaches telling the president to fire somebody that doesn't normally work, but at least they got their message out to him. I don't know how much they had said to him before. I do know there has been a meeting, a staff meeting with everybody in it since, and we just don't know where it stands. When I called the president, he had been, the letter had been delivered to him on Friday, and I called him on Monday, and he acknowledged, yes, I have it. And yes, these are serious allegations, and we take them seriously, and we're going to investigate them. So that was Monday. Of course, like we just said, I've been in the golf tournament, which I run and also cover. And so I've been pretty busy since then, but I don't think anything's happened. I've been making some phone calls, and I know that nothing's happened. No one's been fired. Everybody's still on staff. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. I've been at this a long time, 4 decades, and I don't ever remember that many coaches. Obviously, there's been lots of coaches not satisfied with administration, either the AD or the president or somebody above them. But I don't remember ever anything like this. And the dynamics of having, as you mentioned, the football and men's basketball coach, who both are right at a calendar year on the staff, hired by the man that they're competing against, along with someone like Chandra Cheeseborough, who is a legend at Tennessee State, a former Olympian who is the track coach and the director of track. So she's over the whole program. And I think she's 38 years there. So you've got young coach or new coaches and old coaches. And that's what is probably the most eye-opening thing to me, was that you had guys that have been hired, both Nolan Smith and the football coach Reggie Barlow were hired late in their seasons, and so they've only been there both were hired in the past year and a half. And the basketball team just won its first OVC championship in 38 years, went to the NCAA tournament for only the 3rd time in school history. And the football team is just 2 years removed from winning the football championship and going to the FCS playoffs. So you would think things were clicking along pretty good at Tennessee State, and then you get hit by something like this.
So, Mike, in all the years I've covered sports, I can't remember this scenario. I'm just like you. I don't ever remember this kind of story. So my thought process says, okay, once that once that letter is delivered, from the coach's standpoint, there's no turning back. They've sent it. It's out there. But how in the world can an AD function once that's happened? I don't see how they can.
I don't. Yeah, this is going to take, if everyone remains on staff and no one gets fired, there's going to have to be a lot of one-on-one relationship rebuilding that takes place, obviously. And both sides are going to have to, give and sacrifice a little bit and work hard if the decision's made that, we'll look into this, but we're not going to fire anybody. I'm not going to say it can't happen, but as you said, George, we don't have any precedents. I don't remember this ever happening. At Vanderbilt, obviously, when Paul Houlihan was there, you were there. You weren't the only one that was disgruntled at the time. There were other coaches and other administrators that were not happy, but there was never a letter drafted. And basically, the president stepped in, or the chancellor stepped in, and eventually sent Paul Houlihan on his way. But yeah, I don't have any history or of anything like this that we can point to and say, well, you remember when this happened at Tulane or when this happened here. So yeah, they come up with a new one, and they're going to have to come up with a new answer to come with it. Solution.
Kelly, as I turn it to you, I'll say this. Not only would I have signed the letter, I'd have written it.
Well, here's what I want to know with all this that's going on. Like, this is probably a stupid question, Mike, but like, what is this? I want to know what this vote of confidence stuff means. Like, what has he done to make them feel that way? Because you talked about it, like their football team's on the up and up. Basketball team reached the NCAA tournament. Like, what is the gripe? Is this like a gripe where they don't like him, or they truly don't have confidence? And where is that coming from?
The only hint was in the letter, and it was the financial allocation for different sports. So, Kelly, in this day of NIL, everything is so different now, whereas things used to just be easy to take care of, to pay for. It's not easy to pay for anymore, not because they're not making money, but because athletic departments need money in order to pay athletes. Everything's different. I mean, everything when you're having to pay athletes. So when you're having to pay athletes, you're having to pay your second string volleyball setter as much as you're paying your star quarterback. You have to, not the same, but you have to take care of them both. You get into Title IX issues when you don't. So you wonder if that's part of it based on what the letter said, the allocation of funds, how different sports are treated, because now you've got to treat sports differently. You've got to take care of your moneymaker. And on this level, it's usually men's basketball. On the next level, it's obviously football. You got to do whatever it takes because that sport has to pay for the others. And you have to pay the athletes to make that sport play well. So I just think it's all a part of this. I think it's a part of this new era that we're stepping into. And, well, we're already into it. We're knee deep in it now. But of paying athletes and still making everybody happy, I think that's probably what it comes down to.
Well, Mike, a couple of years ago, we were talking about TSU maybe not even being able to field a football team, and it seems like Mickey Allen's got that, behind them. So, like, I don't understand this, man, because they were struggling before, the new football coach took over, and I was surprised that he got him, which I thought he did a really good job of getting him, but like. Do these guys not understand the predicament they were in before right now? I mean, a couple of years ago, they talked about having to do away with some stuff in the athletic department.
Did Mickey hire a really good football coach, a really good solid hire there? He hit a home run or a slam dunk in this case with the basketball coach, bringing in Nolan Smith from Duke, and then an assistant at Louisville and Memphis, and you see what he did this first year. Now, I'm a little concerned about the success the basketball team had and how good the OVC was this year. I don't want to take anything away from what Nolan did, but I know that there has been some questions since the season ended about were they as good as they appeared to be. They did not show up in the NCAA tournament. However, they played a Final Four team that, granted, it lost its best player in the opening minutes, but still, that was a very good basketball team they played. You talk about the money, Kelly. I think the money goes back more so to Dwayne Tucker, the new president. He's the one that seems to have solved the money situation, because not only were we worried that the TSU may not field a football team or a basketball team just 2 or 3 years ago, we weren't sure the school was going to be able to keep its doors open. It wasn't just an athletics thing. That school was in deep trouble. And Dwayne Tucker took over. He's a businessman. He's a really good, proven businessman. And he seems to have gotten a handle on the finances. Now, you're never where you want to be, but he's gotten them out of that desperate threat of not existing anymore, to put it bluntly. I think he's got it back to where now they're so much better financially, and he's back to talking about a stadium for the football team. And again, this stuff is no longer just done by athletic directors. This stuff is done by presidents and legal, because money is so important now that you can't just leave it all up to your athletic director. So
So Mike, so my last thing is, isn't this kind of a synopsis of what's going on across the country with smaller schools? I mean, it seems like everybody's running into this problem, and then you get Nick Saban talking in Congress yesterday, talking about what needs to be done and the things that need to be done. But like, if you look at a broader scale, aren't all small schools FCS Division II, D3? D3 is a little different, but like, aren't all these, organizations kind of having the same type of talks and the same type of situations?
Absolutely. And that's why I think what happened at TSU, while like George and I were saying, we don't have anything to look back on, I think we have something to look forward to. I think that we're going to see similar situations at similar institutions. At other FCS programs, I think you're going to see a lot of disgruntlement and figuring things out for questions that there might not be answers to, Kelly. Just to be honest, I don't know that FCSs are going to be able to fund all the sports they've been able to fund in the past, the number of athletes, because they've got to be paid. I think you hit on it when you said that this might just be TSU might just be the first victim of what's going to happen. And there may be some other athletic directors who can't figure it out, who the people under them won't be happy with whatever comes out of it.
Mike, from your understanding, how long have these grievances against Allen been brewing?
I don't know. I don't. Again, there was no indication. When you have great success, that obviously gets the spotlight. And they had great success, monumental success, unprecedented success with their basketball program to go as far as it did, to turn things around from early in the season where we weren't sure. Then they got an OVC, and I think we found out, like I said, the OVC wasn't all that good, bottom line. But Tennessee State has no control over that. All you can do is step out there and play whoever you're playing, and they stepped out there and beat whoever was in front of them. So when you have a team that is succeeding like that, all the attention is on that, all the media is on that, and you don't have people, you don't have the other sports that command attention like they would if that wasn't going on. So maybe this was going on before for a while, and maybe the basketball situation held it off for a little bit, and then once that shine wore off, we got back to them being disappointed or upset.
So I read that the women's basketball coach and the softball coach, track and field coach all signed this letter, and key concerns in this letter: uneven allocation of resources and support among other programs. This may be a really dumb question, but and this kind of is piggybacking off of one of Kelly's questions, but how reflective is that of this state of college athletics? Because we had Danny Evans on in the 3:00 hour. All the money is being funneled towards football, and then men's basketball is obviously going to get a large chunk of that as well. So is that a legit concern?
Oh yeah, you take it to another level, Parker. On this level, you're talking about all the money goes to football, then football pays for everything. That's not the way it is on the FCS level. On the FCS level, men's basketball pays for football as well. You don't make money in football on the FCS level. It costs you too much to operate a football program for you to make money, and especially at Tennessee State, where attendance has been just horrific. Even under Eddie George and the success they experienced, and Eddie expressed it. He couldn't believe there were 1,200 people at Nissan Stadium, where he used to play in front of packed houses week after week. 75,000. He shows up as a coach at TSU, and there's 1,200 there, and he's winning. That wasn't on his bingo card. And so You got to pay for everything through one sport that's making money. And I don't know that it's possible. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know how long FCSs are going to be able to continue, because we're seeing FBSs drop sports, albeit some have, like Arkansas, added them back right away. And that's what it takes sometimes to get the alumni to wake up. I'm sure that's what happened there. You drop a sport and alumni who played that sport or enjoy that sport finally give you some money to keep it going. And you don't have that on the FCS level. You don't have that dedication from the alumni in a lot of cases. And you certainly don't have it at the gate, and you certainly don't have the TV contracts. So you got one sport that's trying to give you enough money to allocate equally for all these sports. So I don't know how long these sports are going to make it.
I have one more question for you, Mike. Doesn't that kind of make sense, though? Because at least this is my, perception of all of this. The FCS playoff has 32 teams in it. So to me, that kind of almost renders the regular season moot. And at least the FCS level, I guess that in my mind that makes sense if Tennessee State isn't getting as much attendance for their games as they might be expecting.
Yeah, because you need a TV package and you need a strong gate if you don't have TV. Well, you don't have TV until you get to the playoffs, and then you don't have it till you get into the quarters or the semifinals. So you got to have a gate, and you got to have people given to the school. You got to have, and that's what you got to do to have these collectives that we've never had to worry about before. You got to have people invested, and I don't mean interest-wise or volunteering-wise. I mean financially, and in a big way, because now you've got to keep these sports going. And I'm talking about, buying new helmets every 2 years, buying new chin straps, and then on top of all that, paying the players. So you're barely you're losing money on a program that you can't keep above water in the first place, and now you got to pay the players. And if basketball is doing that, then you got to pay your basketball players something. And it's just a problem that I don't think has an answer. And I see Nick Saban talking. I see everybody talking about, the problem. I don't see any valid answers right now. Maybe on the FBS level for the very top programs, there are answers because there is money. But once you get away from where the money is, and that starts about midway through the FBS, when you get down to the level, to outside the group of four even, then I think you got a big issue. And the lower you go as you drop into FCS, and like Kelly said, even Division II and whatever, then the problem gets bigger and bigger.
Mike, you are a good man to come on here. Thank you for taking the time. I know this is an uncomfortable issue, but I appreciate you talking about it.
Okay, George, it is uncomfortable, but it is what it is, and it needs to be discussed. So I appreciate you guys giving me a forum today.
Hey, thanks for coming on.
Okay, bye-bye.
Mike Organ from the Tennessean with us. Just one thought, because, look, I'm not going to pretend to tell you that I know what's going on behind the scenes there. I was as shocked as any of you when I first saw the story. One of the byproducts of this, or at least my opinion of it, a school somewhere is going to go bankrupt in the next 2 years from an athletic department standpoint.
Yep.
And, you hear different schools. Don't ask me why I hear the word Rutgers from time to time. I've heard UCLA. And look, Tennessee State is one of those. If I had to just pluck crap out of thin air, they're one of them that you sit there and you go, it could happen. And you wonder if that's what it is going to take for, I don't know, cooler heads to prevail, for these judges who make some of these crazy rulings to get their head out of there, and get down to the brass tacks, which is sports that we love are being ruined. Now, occasionally we get one of these moments like the West Virginia country roads that gives us goosebumps and we all celebrate. But let's face it, we got some serious issues. And at some point, not only is a school going to go bankrupt, but a bunch of programs that are Olympic sports types are going to bite the dust. It's just a matter of when. Let's go to the break.
It's a sad day too, George.
Oh,
It's a sad day.
Topic.
It's a pitiful story is what it really is. Phone lines open right now at 615-759-9949. Again, 615-759-9949. Here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 4 red-blooded Americans who want to talk some sports. I need you, and I need you now. The Lord sounded like a minister. Anyway, when we come back, not only will we take your phone calls, but we will show you a picture of what Frank is looking at from Smyrna, from the Omni Hotel, where you can reach out and grab pretty much the outfield upper deck at Truist Park. This is the George Plaster Show.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
Venture Express has been helping people in this area for more than 40 years. They're headquartered in Murfreesboro with over 30 years of dedicated fleets involving production, manufacturing, and corrugated experiences. They're an asset-based company with over 700 tractors, 4,000 trailers, and 800 drivers. If you need their help, dial them up 615-793-9500 or log on to ventureexpress.com. You've heard me talk about the putting zone. Well, guess what? It's now open, and it offers a revolutionary indoor golf experience featuring state-of-the-art putting surfaces designed to replicate real-world course conditions. It allows players of all skill levels to practice, compete in tournaments, and connect year-round. Go by and see them at 3040 Sidco Drive and tell them Plaz sent you.
Looking for expert medical care in Nashville?
Are you looking for expert medical care in Nashville without leaving your home? Medical House Calls brings concierge-level health care directly to your door. Whether you need urgent attention, ongoing primary care, revitalizing IV therapy, or medically guided weight loss, our experienced providers are just a phone call away at 615-838-2375 or go online, medicalhousecalls.com. It's easy to say good things about the folks at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers. Number one, I trust them with something that's near and dear to me, the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. But more importantly, I see the fun people have. They enjoy the bowling, they enjoy the camaraderie, and you will too. Come by any of their locations and get ready to have some fun.
Lives here. Your sports live here on ESPN 94.9 The Fan.
We are back. We have one line still open. Hope somebody will take advantage of that, jump in and use that phone line at 615-759-9949. One of the cool things about Truist Park, where the Braves play, there's a hotel right outside the outfield fence. And when Frank from Smyrna called earlier and said, I can watch batting practice. I asked him to send me a picture. And for those of you who are watching by way of podcast, here is that picture. So that is from his balcony at the Omni down in Cobb County. And can you watch a game from there? Absolutely. Every time I go, I see people do that. It's pretty cool. Frank, thank you for the picture. Jeff in Murfreesboro, get us started.
How's it going, George? I just want to say one quick thing. There's a guy I know. Well, he played high school at Cascade years ago. He played at Clemson, and he has a organization, WAB Sports, and he's having a golf tournament here in Murfreesboro at the end of June 29th. He's going to have a tailgate that Sunday before. He's going to have a lot of NFL and NBA guys he knows. Dwight Stone's been down here before, and I met him, some other guys. But he raises money and gives the money to these golf tournaments. He gives back and gives school supplies for students that can't really afford them or wants to have them and for the next school year. So he's having an 04 golf course on Monday. Costs $150 to play. And if you want to get in touch with him, I was going to give out his number if people want to get in touch with him. I know he was talking about trying to get in touch with Kelly because he knew Kelly real well.
If you've got a phone number, go ahead and give it to me because I've got a pen and I'll write it down.
Yeah, his name is Wayne Buckingham. But his number is 331 area code 472-9828.
Let me make sure I got this right. Area code 331-472, and give me the last four.
9828.
Okay, perfect.
And then I don't want to talk just a little quick thing about what Mike was saying about the TSU. There were a couple of athletes that I've known in the past that went to school. I know Birmingham Southern had to close about 3 or 4 years ago, their whole university.
Yeah.
And another kid that was playing high school ball in Mount Juliet went to a smaller school. They ended up closing up their whole university. I think what's going to end up happening with some of these schools, like you were talking about the athletic department, they'll just come out and say, okay, we're not going to have athletics anymore. We're just going to shut down. We'll still be a university. We won't have athletics at all. Do you think that could happen?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's going to happen. It'll probably start out with smaller schools, some you've heard of, some you haven't. But in the end, when Arkansas, with all the SEC money that they get out of TV, tells you that they really can't fund a tennis program, it's getting bad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, true. They said they couldn't compete either. Is that what they said? Said they couldn't compete. That's what they said.
Very sad.
Yeah, that's very true. It really is. It's really a sad deal. But and for Tennessee State, their biggest thing. Here's the thing with Tennessee State, George. The biggest times they draw is these classic games they have. This John Merritt Classic, the stuff in Memphis. When they have a home game and they play at that Nissan Stadium, nobody comes, and they're probably not going to be able to play in the Titans' new stadium. So I guess they're going to play on campus. I don't know, but that's the only time they draw is when they play Jackson State and these classics games. They don't draw any home games. I don't think they have much of a fan base at all. I'll be honest with you, but I just wanted to get that out there and have a good day, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to Jack in East Nashville. Jack, how are you today?
Fine, George. I have possibly a dumb question, but all these athletes that are receiving these stupendous sums of money, are they all on scholarship as well?
Kelly, I believe the answer to that question is yes.
Yes. That's one of the questions I presented not too long ago. A couple of years ago, I was like, if they're going to get paid all this money, shouldn't they pay for their tuition? Shouldn't they pay for all that stuff? But I don't. Yeah, but they are on scholarship. Yes.
That's just crazy. Think what they could do with those scholarships for people that aren't driving Lamborghinis to class. Good night.
Jack, when the court system came down with all this stuff and said, this is the way it's got to be, I always believed that what we intended, let's say on the Division I level in football, that every football player gets $25,000 with the chance to make an extra $10,000 by way of academic achievement, community service, whatever criteria you want to set up. And we have gone so far past, what's workable. It's insane. And I do believe it's just a matter of time before some school that we know who they are and what conference they're in says, we can't do this.
And they did it to themselves. There's plenty of people going to Belmont and Vanderbilt right now on music scholarships. They go play all the jobs they want, weddings, parties, beer joints if they want to, and it doesn't do anything as far as their scholarship. You make all the money you want. And why they wouldn't let the football players, the older I get, that less and less makes sense.
I know how you feel. Thanks for the call.
Well, thanks a lot. Thank you, guys.
So, okay, that's sort of the frustration of what you hear. I guess, Kelly, deep down, the part that I don't really understand. At a lot of schools right now, the academic system has looked the other way and just said, we don't give a damn if you go to school or not. And I guess there's a part of me, because I think on the Division I football level, and I don't have the facts to really back this up, these kids aren't going to class. And what I don't understand is, where did the schools all get together and say, we don't care if they go? They're pros. They're not. When did we just give in?
That's a great question, George. I don't know. I just go back to the professor question that I've always had. Like, are you going to somebody that's invested $5 or $6 million into a kid, and he's coming on campus, and now he's in your class as a professor? There's got to be tremendous pressure on you because you've held a certain standard for so many years about teaching kids the proper way of doing something. But now this kid takes advantage of you and say he comes to class for the first time and then stops coming to class. As a professor, what are you supposed to do? They just in their collective, they just gave this child a bunch of money. And he's supposed to be out there on the field. So if you're a professor and he comes to class one time and never comes back, what do you do? What do you do? That's my question.
Well, I know
call personal foul on him.
Well, in COVID, online classes started becoming a thing. And then professors realized they could teach through, Zoom or whatever. So now a lot of these kids they can, hop onto a Zoom, do an online class, turn their camera off, play Madden, whatever they want to do while they're in class. So it's crazy.
It is crazy. But Parker, like here was my mindset, and I'm just being honest here. You pay me $4 million. If I do right things with my money and I've got a good support system,
right,
I'm probably going to go to class. But if I didn't have a good support system and I came from nothing and I'm making $4 or $5 million in a year, I'm not going to either online classes. I'm not going to go to your online class either. I'm not going to do that stuff. What I needed, I've already made $5 million.
You're
like,
18 years old. You're making $5 million. You played at SEC school. You're bigger than life.
No, but let me
Yes.
ask you this, Kelly. There's a part of me that's sitting there saying, okay, for whatever kids are out there that are making really good NIL money, but have also said, look, this is a priority to me to get an education. Man, I admire them. Now, I don't think there are many of them out there, but the ones that are, God bless them.
It'd be hard for me too. Now, I did come, hey, my mom and dad were there to support me. My soon-to-be wife supported me. I had people around me, but like, if you're gonna pay me that much money, man, I'm gonna think about, like, I don't need this. Why am I gonna do this?
Right. The thing that was really interesting, we'll go back to the phones here in just a second. The thing that was really interesting was when Carson Beck came out and said, hell, I haven't been to a class in 2 years. There were people absolutely shocked. And I'm like, why are you shocked? It's been obvious this has become an academic joke.
Why are you shocked? I mean, that's what I would do. And I was a pretty good kid growing up. I didn't cause any problems. I just wanted to play football. But if you give me $5 million, man, I'm not getting on your online class, man. I like you. I'll sign up for your class. But like Parker said, peace out to that.
Man.
Well,
I'm out.
But some of us have different things. My mom would have kicked my butt.
Oh, yeah. My parents would have gotten upset too.
Gosh.
Mine would have gotten upset too, but you think
you're going to class?
You think mine's going to know, George? I ain't going to tell mine now. Now maybe they got my report card and all that. Maybe they got that, and then they say, But fortunately, I had a Coach Donnelly who you were scared of, so I was not going to mess with that man.
Ben in Murfreesboro, welcome to the show.
Hey, George, how are you doing?
I'm good. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great. I had a question, and I want to get y'all's opinion on it. So, New York Knicks beat San Antonio in San Antonio for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. It's going to Game 2 tomorrow. If the Knicks win Game 2, it's heading to Madison Square Garden, and it's going to get scary. And it's going to erupt and be loud. Do the Knicks sweep if they win Game 2 of this NBA Finals?
And thank you for the call. If they win tomorrow night, they win this series in no more than 5.
5.
That's
I was
no
shocked.
More than 5.
And you know what? I'll admit to Parker, I did not think Karl Anthony Towns would do what he did, but he looked like Charles Barkley even said it in the post game, like he was the one that in that stretch where they were having some trouble, he was the one that kept them in it, man. And he, like last night, they looked like the mature team and the San Antonio Spurs, which are the younger team, but they just didn't look like they were in it, man. They just looked like they got bullied on the street, and I was quite surprised with that.
Jalen
Get
Brunson
ready to repeat these words: world champion New York Knicks.
After what I saw last night, yeah, I think you're right.
San Antonio had better even up that series because I think we've all been anticipating a really cool series. But if you go down 2-0 and you go to Madison Square Garden and that guy's playing that organ, getting that crowd to yell defense.
Have fun. Have
Good
fun.
luck. Ryan and Brentwood, how are we doing today?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Thank you.
Okay. I want to talk to the little Preds. I think they can get a better player than Yost. So I think they can get rid of him. Would you sign Holla to a 1-year deal, and then would you re-sign Barron? That's my kind of.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about Roman Yossi?
He said
no,
Yost.
Not Yost. Jost. Fourth liner.
Give me a first name there.
Oh gosh, what is his name?
Tyson.
I can't remember.
Forward.
Oh, Tyson Joe. Okay, sorry. Okay, give me your scenarios.
I think they can find a better fourth line forward than him, and then re-sign Holla for 1 year, and then re-sign Barron for maybe 1 or 2 year contract.
I mean, look, you can find fourth line guys all over the place. Holla, I would agree with. Re-sign Holla. The other two, I don't know. I mean, what are your alternatives on the roster? To me, those are not the issues. Do what?
I thought Barron played good this past year. I thought he's serviceable for sure.
Look, the issues that have to be addressed are, number one, are you keeping this coach? Because until that's determined, Kelly asked a great question. Everybody's walking on eggshells. Are you keeping the coach? That's number one. Secondly, how much money are you willing to spend to get another team to take on Jonathan Marchessault? That's the second one.
I agree with that.
The third one is Brady Shea. What do you do about him? How much money are you allotting? This other stuff, this is penny ante stuff. This is not what's going to decide whether the Predators get a bunch better or not.
I agree, George. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Hey, anytime. Thank you. Okay, I guess on that, we need to go to our final break. Kelly, when we come back, we'll close out the show in style. Got 2 plays today.
Plays, but
yeah, I know
the other play you had yesterday didn't work out too well.
Thank you, Kelly. Would have been nice if the day before I had heard you say, wow, you went with Vegas.
I did say wow. I did say wow because you've got a really good record. It's just amazing to me. You're like the general. You got a bookie or somebody on your side here.
No, I do not. We'll go to the break, and then we'll wrap up this baby on a Thursday afternoon in Nashville. This is the George Plaster Show.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
Are you tired of living with back pain? What would you do if the pain was gone?
At the Dr. Gill Center, we've helped thousands of people over the last 30 years break free from pain and get back to living life. We're committed to your outcomes, and our caring team listens, understands, and offers real solutions to neuropathy, back pain, and joint pain without unnecessary surgery or medication. Choose the clinic that listens. Choose the clinic that cares. Call the Dr. Gill Center today at 615-882-4838.
Let's make your pain-free life a reality.
Baseball is just like music. You don't believe me? Let me show you. It's jazz, improvised, and unpredictable. It's rock. The crowd explodes like a guitar through a wall of amps. It's rap, fast, sharp, all rhythm, and timing. It's country, nothing but 3 outs and the truth. Do you believe me now? Look, no matter what music you're into, the hottest track in town, Nashville Sounds Baseball. Welcome to Hit City.
Sports and Social at Green Hills Mall is the new home for our Football Night in Nashville promotion. Their food is terrific. Their TV setup looks like a race and sports book in Vegas. And if you're a sports fan, you can't beat it. Starting September the 4th, we'll broadcast from Sports and Social every Thursday night. There's Pop-A-Shot, great football, and the chance to win a beautiful Mikey's Motors golf cart. See you at Sports and Social in Green Hills Mall.
Clarksville, get ready Because when the doors open at F&M Bank Arena, the noise rises. The walls shake. And the Cats take control. Fast plays. Big hits. Non-stop arena football. Get in the den. Get your season tickets now.
It's the George Plaster Show. Your sports live here on 94.9 The Fan.
No need to ask, he's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator.
Did Kelly hear that? Kelly, we have late breaking news.
What?
I'm adding a third pick.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
Third pick, huh?
Third pick. So
are you going to college softball?
No, I'm not.
No,
But
no
I'm gonna
college
shock
softball
you.
play tonight.
I'm going to shock you with where I'm going. You'll never believe it.
Oh wow.
Okay, so the Spurs, they gagged it late. The minute Brunson hit the three to put New York back up by 2, I was toast. I don't know if that's that the Knicks are that much better, San Antonio tired. I don't know. I just know once he hit that 3 ball, San Antonio was poof, out. Okay, 3 plays tonight. I am taking Vegas again. The line is way too high. Carolina is not that good. Vegas is on a roll. We're taking them. Item number 2. The Dodgers have told the National League West to jump in the lake. It's just like it's been for the last 5 years. April and May, everybody gets excited. Oh, San Diego. Oh, Arizona. The Dodgers are the class of that division by a mile. And Kelly, there's a third play. Tomorrow morning, we're taking Cal Poly.
Oh,
A 220 dog at West Virginia. And you know why?
Tell me.
Because I don't think West Virginia is all that good.
Wow,
The
and you've been
song is
talking
incredible.
You've been talking up country road for days.
Yes, I have been. I think Cal Poly wins the game tomorrow, 11 in the morning. But that said, we must never forget one of the truly great sports moments of 2026. And so with that in mind, Kelly, in a tradition unlike any other, we present Country Roads. Goodbye, everybody.
See ya.
Now, here's your latest Fox 17 Code Red weather report.
I'm Fox 17 meteorologist Brett Luna. This beautiful weather is going to be sticking around with us for the next few days. We'll get plenty of sunshine today with high temperatures in the mid-80s. Humidity is not going to be too bad either. Friday